thanks for tuning in. I'm Lauren, and in my video this week I'm going to do like a bit of a product review about a few different types of scissors that you may or may not have come across before, and also a rotary cutter as well. And this is kind of part of like a training thing that we do here in my shop, Guthrie and Ganny, with the team. And basically every few months the team just take home a different haberdashery item, something that we sell in the shop, and just has a little sort of play and experiment with it, really just to learn more about it. And it just means that we can all understand a bit more about the huge variety of haberdashery things that we have in the shop, and then also get to share it with you guys too. So it might just give you some more information and ideas about different things that are out there and kind of how you can use them. I've put a link to the blog post that's associated with this video in the description, so if you follow that then you can see the links to actually buy the items that I'm going to talk about. They're all available on my website, and we ship internationally as well. So let's just get started. So the first one I'm going to chat to you about is the rotary cutter. So you might be thinking, like, you know, a rotary cutter, what's so special about that? I mean, it is just a rotary cutter, but it's got this really cool safety feature that I think is pretty nifty. And we've had this in the shop for a while, and I totally didn't even realise that it had this, to be honest. So it's from the Prym Love range, so it's like this really cool bright handle, which, you know, is always nice when your sewing tools are brightly coloured. And on the back you can see that it's got this little sort of mechanism here. That black knob is just where you're able to change the blade, but when it's in this sort of centre position it's locked, so this rim of plastic that's around the blade just stays in place so that you can't cut yourself. And then you can either flick it to the left or the right depending on how thick the fabric is that you're cutting or how many layers you're going through. And so when you flick it out of that locked position, as you can see, that rim of plastic still stays around the blade, but as soon as you start to cut with it and you put pressure on it to cut your fabric, that just automatically retracts back with the pressure, exposes the blade, and then it cuts your fabric. And as soon as you lift it off again, then you can see that that plastic guard just comes back into place so that the blade's not exposed. So usually always rotary cutters will have some kind of safety guard on them, but usually you have to kind of manually like turn it on and off. Really, the more basic ones is just like a slide, so you have to remember to put the guard back on again. So this one's just a little bit more automatic. Because the handle is symmetrical as well, it could be used in your left or right hand depending on what dominant hand you are. And yeah, it's got a really good grip. You can really get good grip like near the blade. And yeah, I just think it's a nice little rotary cutter. If you've been an avid watcher of the Sewing Bee this year, you'll have seen loads of the contestants using a rotary cutter to cut out their dressmaking projects. Just remember, if you do that, you have to have a big self-healing mat or like a thing to protect your table. So yeah, if you like that technique then, and you think you'll use it a lot, then it might be worth investing in one of these. And don't forget the mat as well. So the next thing that I've got to show you are these appliqué scissors here. They're called appliqué scissors, and I think they just look really cool. And you might have also seen them before, but sometimes they get called duck-billed scissors because they've got this kind of large sort of duck-bill bit shape on the blade at the bottom. So they are good if you have appliquéd a motif onto your project or work, and then you're trimming the fabric round the edge, and this duckbill bit, this sort of big curved bit here, just helps to hold the bottom fabric out the way as you kind of cut round. I've also seen them get used quite a lot for grading seams, which is especially good if you're grading like a denim or like a thick wool fabric or something, and the instructions tell you that you have to grade one layer of the seam allowance more than the other. Then these are really good because it means that you can just cut one of the seam allowances, and that curved bit just like holds the other seam allowance out of the way so you don't accidentally cut it. So yeah, you know, they're clearly not an essential part of your sewing toolkit, but quite cool. And if you like gadgets, you like having lots of different things, then they might be quite a fun addition. And then the next ones that I've got are these little thread scissors here. So you can see that they're clearly not like traditional scissors because they've just got this sort of grippy handle here. You can hold it in a few different positions, so you can sort of just kind of roughly grip it in your hands like this, so really easy to hold, or you can be a bit more precise and you can use your thumb and index finger just to cut it. So good for just going round your garment at the end. So, you know, quite often you've got lots of little loose threads to kind of cut off at the end of your project, or say you were just like sitting on the sofa doing some hand sewing and, you know, you just wanted a little pair of scissors nearby you. They're quite good because you can quickly pick them up and just give them a squeeze and they cut it, rather than kind of fumbling around. Sometimes little scissors, it's a bit more awkward getting your fingers into it if you just want to make one quick cut. So yeah, they're good for that too. And I think they would also be good if you had to cut little clips or notches in your projects too, because you could just hold it at that more sort of pinch point at the front there, and then just do your little snips. They've got a nice sharp point on them too. So yeah, just a useful little pair of scissors to have. I think it is good no matter what sort of sewing you do. It's useful to have a bigger pair of scissors and a smaller pair of scissors. So yeah, that's just kind of one option for that really. And then the last item that I've got to chat to you about are these dressmaking scissors here, dressmaking shears. And if you've watched my videos before, you might have heard me mention them in the past. They are the micro serration ones. So the difference between these scissors and regular dressmaking scissors or shears are that the blade has got lots of little teeth on it. That's what the micro serration is. So they're especially good for cutting very lightweight or floaty or slippery fabrics, because those little teeth almost sort of grip the fabric as you're cutting and just give you a little bit more control when the fabric is moving about all over the place. They are also good if you're cutting through a lot of layers of thicker fabric. So say you're cutting through lots of layers of denim, because what can quite often happen with normal scissors is that when you are going through a lot of layers, as you close the blade of the scissor, it almost like pushes all of the layers away a little bit. But when you've got the micro serration, because it's got the teeth, they grip onto the fabric. So as you're cutting, the teeth are holding onto it and sort of keeping them in the blade so that you can cut it really easily. If you've got a fabric that's a little bit fluffy, so say it's like a fleece back sweatshirt or something, you might find that it kind of catches on it a little bit. You know, if it's more of a kind of textured, kind of fluffy fabric, you might find that the little teeth actually just catch on it and it's a little bit annoying. So I would say they're not like the only pair of dressmaking scissors that you would have. They're nice to kind of complement it. So if you sew with quite a wide range of different fabrics, then you might find that these are just a sort of nice addition to it. We have the 25 centimetre length in stock in the shop, which I think is a really nice length for dressmaking, and they just feel good in your hand as well. The grip is sort of nice and soft, they feel quite weighty, and yeah, I like using them for my own projects. So I hope you found that useful, just sort of showing you what different types of tools are and what they're like and how you can use them. Of course, if you've got any questions, just leave me in the comments below and I shall try to help. And you can check out the blog post, which is linked in the description if you want to buy any of these items. But thanks so much for watching, guys. If you haven't subscribed to my channel already, just remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss my next video, and I'll see you next time. Bye.